Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a pretty short, quick one, specific one for this year of car and this exact problem. So when I went to look online to look this up, just to, I'll look stuff up every once in a while just to make sure that I'm taking stuff apart right, or if there's little easy tips or tricks online, why not use them? Or if somebody else has already done it and knows exactly what tools to use, why not take a 5-minute Google search, YouTube search to see if there's something that could make my life easier. Basically, when I did that, I couldn't find anything on this, picture-wise, video-wise, nothing. So I figured I wasn't gonna film any of this anyway, but I figured I would just run you guys through real quick what I've done here to get it apart and get it fixed, and then that way it's out there online, and if anybody else wants to use this video to do this, cool. I can be the guy that kind of saves some people some hassle and makes somebody else's life easier down the road. So this is a 2018 GLS 450 Mercedes Benz. Customer brought it in because he had backed into a little something and cracked the tail light, the inner tail light for the trunk. And then he's also got some little scratches and stuff like that he's gonna have me touch up, but I went ahead, it was pretty dirty. So before I did any touch-up work, I had to get it cleaned up. That's what I do here. I do a lot of detailing, so why not give it a good wash, give it a good bath, and then from there I can touch up and fix any little defects in the paint that I might see instead of trying to just clean off certain areas. So went ahead, did that, and then started tackling this taillight. And like I said, I looked online, couldn't find anything. Tried to find pictures, forums, anything I could not find it. So this is the original issue. He had cracked his taillight pretty good. It's soaked right now because it's holding water and all the water is escaping, but yeah, cracked his taillight pretty good. This is the replacement that he bought. I'll try to give you guys a part number here. Not sure what website he got this on, but it is Mercedes. So A1669066402, rear lamp, straight from Mercedes. So here's the new one. Sorry if my camera doesn't want to focus. Here's the new one, nice and brand new. Definitely Mercedes. Definitely genuine Mercedes. So there's the part number again. This is the back of what the taillight looks like. Bulbs and everything kind of come in it. Plug kind of comes in it. These little 2 attachment points are new. As you can see here, the old one has them as well, but we might as well just use the new ones. Here's the part number again. Yeah, so you could reuse these, but the new one came with it, so why not? When you're taking it off, be very careful. There is a sticky, seal all the way around the taillight. And like on the new one, you have to peel this so that you can re-stick it. Basically, I'll show you guys real quick how to get this apart. So when you're looking at it, there's really no good way to get it off from the sides, whatever like that. Some are pretty obvious how they come apart. This one was not. So I started investigating a little bit and noticed you can pop off this little handle from the inside. It's 2 pieces. So it goes together like that, and this is your little handle, that's right here for you to close it. You basically pop off the inside, comes off, and then that exposes this one like this, and it'll have two, it's on the impact, two T20. So that'll have two T20 bolts in it for you on each side. Should look like that. Focus. Yeah. So that's your first step. Pop the back off, get those two T20s off, and then I came over to the button. The button sits right here, and it just has little clips on the back side. You want to pop off nice and easily, and then take off the plug. Undo this tiny little plug. Just get you a real small little screwdriver. I basically use that too on this. Managed to get it off without any of them breaking, so that was cool. So get your handle, your plug out, and then you will have this trim piece after that. So I guess that handle is not perfectly centered, it's like off to the right hand side. So once you get the handle, the buttons off, this basically just unclips from the car. Once you have those screws out, you have to have those screws out, but once you have those out, you can kind of unclip it, start from the right side, start pulling off the right. Once you get over to this side, you have to make sure that you unplug the light. Once you unplug that light, then you can kind of keep unclipping it all the way down. So it's basically just push clips like that, and then, you know, this just kind of folds over and clips into this other part here. So just be careful with it, take your time, you know, loosen it from the back this way, but also pull it down this way. Start from one side, make sure you get everything unplugged, and it should come off no problem. Then what you have to do is you have to start working on these little yellow clips. So really, I got most of them from getting my hand in here, and I would actually hold the back side of it, because these are the type that, you know, you push in on each side, and I could actually get up here, hold both sides, and it would pop down. Then there's like 2 or 3 more that are farther in that you just have to basically force. It kind of sucks because it feels like you're gonna break them, but they will pop, you know. So kind of just pop these down, pop as many as you can, getting to the back side and squeezing them, and then for the rest, you know, you can use little pry tools. I did use a pry tool on one or two of them, and try to compress this and pop it down at the same time with one of those. Wasn't too bad. Haven't broke any of those. That went pretty well. And then for the tail light itself, there is a plug here, so that's your one and only plug. You can unplug that fairly easily. And then basically these two, they're 8 mils. These two 8mm will sit like that, and you can, sorry, I can't do this one-handed. You can just barely hold this down, get to the one 8mm over here, and then get to the other 8mm over here. So it'll be like, you know, about 6 or 8 inches apart. I was able to get, you know, a real stubby 8mm in there. All you really have to do is just loosen them up with that, and then the rest of the time I just kind of like spun them with my hand out. And then that's it. Once you unplug that, undo those two 8mm, the taillight is technically free, but there is still 2 little clips right here. You can see where it messes up the paint. It's on there so well. That was not me. It's just these 2 clips here were really on there. So you just kind of want to loosen up this side first, kind of pulling it over, and then it can kind of come up the rest of the way. And then once I got it about halfway, the glue really wanted to, you know, the seal was really sticking here. So I just kind of got my hand under it and just, you know, wiggled it out basically until all that seal broke loose. I think that was it really. So it's only got one plug, the 2 8mm, the 2 little clips that hold on here, and that's about it. I think for the little yellow clips, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them pulled down, so the whole thing's not even, you know, this whole panel's not even free. I'm just basically holding over one side. sorry, this whole panel is not even free. I'm just basically pulling down on this one corner. Instead of trying to pop this whole panel off, you know, and possibly break some of the clips, I figure, you know, take as little of clips out as possible and just hold it down while I work on it. But yeah, if you're replacing like both taillights or something, go ahead and do that. Just pull the whole panel out. I'm sure from here it's basically just clips, because these are the only two like electrical parts. So, you know, you could just take off this whole panel. Wouldn't be that bad. But we're just doing this one taillight, so I just got this one corner down. But what you saw me do in the first part when I was first recording was taking some alcohol and cleaning this edge here. It gets pretty gross, it gets pretty grimy. There's still a little glue stuck here, so I'm gonna have to hit it a little bit more, but I'll probably hit this with alcohol one more time and then heat it a little bit, and then when we go to stick in our new taillight, you know, peel that tape up, peel the paper of the tape up, you know, and then pretty much just stick it right into place so that we get a good seal on it. So I might pick up the camera just to show you guys once it's done. If there's any little tips or tricks that I have afterwards, I'll let you guys know, but that's about the gist of it. That way, you know, it's at least on the internet for other people to use and see, because I like when people do that for me and I can find a good video on YouTube and it makes my life a lot easier, and I can knock something out in half the time because I watched a little YouTube video. So supposedly if you're doing like the outside taillight, you just take off this cover and it's pretty simple, but I think this is definitely the harder of the taillights. So yeah, I'm gonna put the camera down, get the new one back in, and then I'll show you guys once I get done. Okay, so got the taillight in, looks good, got it to seal well, looks just like factory, really can't tell a difference at all. I guess on these cars, you know, you would really want to make sure that it is, but yeah, all the gaps look the same. Got the two bolts nice and tight, or the two nuts nice and tight. So let me show you guys kind of how it went back together. These were kind of a pain. Getting this to line up in the car was kind of a pain because it doesn't want to like sit on there straight. It wants to sit on there cockeyed. So getting this one, and then like how the nut is like sits in this plastic piece is nice, because then you can't drop it, but also it makes it kind of hard to spin too, especially when you're trying to do it in the car, get it on there, get it set on there right without cross threading and stuff, and then trying to spin it, it doesn't want to work. The plastic's kind of holding it up, the threads are kind of holding it up, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, I got this one on first. This one you kind of want to set on there when you're setting the taillight in there. You kind of want to push the, you know, hold the taillight in there, go from underneath, set this one on, get it to thread on just a few threads, and then on this one, you know, the taillight can kind of hold itself in there. Get this one on, it's kind of a pain. But once you have these two tightened down, it pretty much seals up good to go. Make sure you pull this off first, you know, don't stick it on there with this on there. The nice sticky seal will stick itself, and it doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. I kind of put it on there once, had to kind of peel it back up, put it back down there again, so it's not the end of the world if it doesn't stick the first time. This stuff's pretty good, so just get the seal to stick. Get these two little brackets on, get them nice and tight, because they do pull the taillight, you know, against the metal, you know, against the trunk. So these will actually pull it nice and tight on this end, and then on this end these will hold it in there. So make sure you have these two clips kind of clipped in and pushed over first. Stick it down, get two of your brackets on, tighten them down, plug your plug back in. These are literally the only tools I used. T20, 8mm, a couple different pry tools, and a light. It helps if you have like a little 90 like this to get to these when you're tightening them back up, because it is a lot of threads. They're pretty long. But then you just want to make sure that all your yellow clips are lined up to go back up in their holes. Make sure that this one's lined up with each other, and then just kind of, you know, I started back here, you know, kind of hit it, got them snapped in. Sorry, worked my way around here, hit them, smacked them in. Like I said, there's only like 5 that I undid, and they all went right back up into their holes. I didn't break one clip. And then you go to put this on, make sure that your plug, god damn it, make sure your plug is pulled through the hole, you don't lose it once you put this on. Plug in this, and then again, I just kind of made sure all the clips were up inside of this piece and just lined up with the holes where they're supposed to go. Kind of started from that end, tapped it on, got down to this end, tapped it in, plugged my button in, snapped that in, and then you put this piece back up in there that actually has the bolt holes in it, and then you screw your 2 T20s back up in, and then put your little cover piece on, and that's it. Hopefully this helps somebody else change out a tail light in their 450. And obviously before I put all the plastics back up in and finished it all up and everything, I went inside, checked that all the lights worked and everything. Pretty sure these are just like running lights, and then the brakes and turn signals and all that other stuff go from the outsides and the center. So that really the tail light, the trunk tail light ones are just like running lights. But yeah, it looks good now. He doesn't have a cracked up crappy one getting water in it and stuff, so it's a good little replacement. Not sure what he paid for the tail light, but you know, these are pretty expensive cars, so it's worth it to have, you know, a nice new OEM Mercedes light back in there and working and everything like that. So yeah, that's how you change an inner tail light on a GLS 450 2018. Now I'm just going to go ahead. His little C fell off, so I got to re-stick on his C, and then like I showed you guys before, touch up some of the scratches on this thing and hit it with a little tire shine, clean the windows, and just... Okay, so I figured I'd throw in a quick little clip of this thing just all cleaned up, ready to go, and completely done. That way, if anybody's watching this, it's just like a how-to. You can kind of see what I do here. So this thing got washed, spray waxed, tire shine, tail light put in, emblem put back on, and a bunch of scratches touched up. So I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick, and just you get the satisfaction of seeing this thing all nice and done, cleaned up. So like I said, it's a lot cleaner than when it came in. The wheels, the barrels, everything about them, nice and clean, top to bottom on the outside. Threw a little bit of tire gel on them. Come around here, the C is stuck back on with some new double-sided tape. And then tail light is in, working, functioning, everything like it should. And this thing's ready to go. Looks a hell of a lot better than when it came in. And the customer's coming to pick it up. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit, a little walk around real quick of just kind of how this thing turned out. And not only is it nice and clean, but everything I use you know, protects it as well, from the soap I use to the spray wax I use to dry it, the polish I use to kind of get out some of the scratches. Everything I put on this car also repels stuff. I got some really good stuff on the headlights, so this thing should stay cleaner a lot longer as well. But yeah, overall, just a nice quick detail for the outside, and some little, you know, some little odds and ends like the tail light and the emblem. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys the final product real quick, and get this video out so that if anybody else is struggling with the tail light on one of these, you know, you can look up my video. It'll tell you what tools you need, and you can kind of go off of that so that you're not just going at it blind. And yeah, just add another video to my collection. So I appreciate you guys for watching. If you would, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.